Okay, well, we're live. We're just getting ready. Going to go start chatting at 4 p.m. PST. But just to start off, we're just testing our audio a bit, so letting us know how we sound.
Mike Agarbo here for the GetConnected. Is it GetConnected?
It's, yes, welcome.
Oh, welcome. Oh, hi. John, your audio?
How do I sound, Robin?
You know, so far, we're all sounding pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not.
I'm like,
oh, you've got.
Yeah. I got to put it.
Yeah, you sound pretty good. Great. Okay.
No, it's sounding pretty clear. Stephen, how's it sounding on your end? Can you hear the stream? It sounds very clean on my end.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
Okay.
But
So we're gonna talk all about what's the tagline that Stephen came up with?
all the tech that moves you.
Right.
That's right. And I'll tell you, I felt very moved.
He's a marketing genius.
But yeah, thank you to all 9 people who are waiting in the lobby right now. We'll be starting very soon. But yeah, for the meantime, just let us know if you guys have any questions, anything you'd like to hear from us. We saw it all. We're only going to talk about a little bit of it.
But we.
or a bit more.
Yeah, maybe a little more. Yeah, I mean, there's so much on the whole EV side and electric vehicles.
It was interesting though that what was there was less than you would normally expect at a CES.
Yeah.
So what was there was quite interesting because you could actually get up close to it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what's it been like in previous years? Because this is only my first.
Well, the whole car section has taken up so much space now. They have their own hall basically. So you were in that hall. Usually that hall is completely jam packed, full of stuff. So this year I think it was probably 40% of it.
We can adjust that now.
Why don't you raise it?
Well, I don't know. Oh. It's technology here. That's good.
Hello, Bruce Crawford, joining from Comox, BC, a local like our own.
Good.
Yeah, all the traditional car companies weren't there this time.
Yeah.
So like
none of them.
None of them. So we got to see a lot of new companies that we had never seen before, or just never had a big enough spotlight because the other car companies were dominating that particular hall.
Right, which I think one we'll talk about later is VinFast, which actually had quite a big display.
Oh, they were happy,
show
right?
Floor.
Because they had like a big booth and that basically got all the attention.
Well, and the one day that we went to that hall was the one day they did their giant unveiling as we walked up to their booth.
Yeah, and that was probably the biggest crowd I'd have seen anyway all show.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so yeah, we're just going to go live in just under a minute now, guys.
Cool. How long are we talking for? 40? Half an hour?
Yeah, we'll aim for a good 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
45 to an hour.
Depends how many questions Bruce has.
Yes.
Come on, Bruce. As he drops off.
All right.
Oh, okay. We're live. This is GetConnected, the live stream technology that moves you.
That's right. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name's Robin, joined by John Beeler and Mike Agarbo.
So we're talking all about the stuff we saw at the Consumer Electronics Show.
Yeah.
When it comes to electric cars and transportation.
Not just electric.
Not just electric. No, that's right, actually. Yeah. So, we're going to be talking about all the things that we saw, all the things we saw most interesting in the automotive, and also, I guess, there's some, not the biggest show from, scooters and PEVs and stuff like that, but we'll touch on the things we did see.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, starting off, we had, I guess this is the one that I saw the most on social media. I think we know what it is. This is the Bmw Ix with I guess they call it color changing. It's kind of more like shade changing.
It's like a Kindle.
Yeah.
Wrapped around the BMW. This isn't something we're going to see anytime soon in cars. I mean, it was a really good showstopper for BMW.
Totally.
Yeah, they were actually one of the car companies that did show up.
Yeah,
when you think about it. But they were outside. They had their own kind of big BMW house, and they had this thing sitting out front of it. But it was pretty cool.
What I was really taken by was we were walking up to it, and it's quite a walk from the main hall to where the sort of the car track is.
Yeah.
And you could see the car out front, and it would change color, and we're like, because we had heard about it, but we hadn't seen it yet with our own eyes.
Yeah.
And then you just see it change, and I'm like, oh, it actually does change.
Yeah. I thought like, because I think maybe we saw the same thing on like TikTok or Twitter or something. That was just like this. It was like a very far away, like low res video, almost like Bigfoot footage.
Yeah.
of it like shifting colors. And so I guess there was a bit of skepticism that when we got there, it would be changing. But like, as you can see in any of the B-roll that we had and everything that we shot, it was changing all the time.
Yeah, but I found as you got closer to it, that's when, for me, I mean, still super cool, but I could see issues with it. Obviously this is a prototype, and I think they did it more for show than anything, but they're basically taking e-ink panels and gluing them or whatever they had to do onto the car. So I don't know if this is the most
Durable,
sturdy type of material that you'd want to wrap your car in.
It was a prototype though, so
yeah. And I think as well, like you said, the closer you got to it, the more you could see it was a wrap.
Yeah, like so for example, like if I was in a parking lot, grocery store parking lot, and someone banged their grocery cart into my changing color car, I don't think it would withstand that very well.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
not in the version that we saw at least. And they might be
They'd
able
have to have a whole other coating on
like
it.
a diamond coat or something like that. Yeah.
And how distracting is that? Like, I am sure there would be some laws in place that would prevent you from like changing colors while you're driving down the freeway, right? Like the cops don't want to see laser lights coming from your car or truck, right?
True, but I mean, like,
or smoke machine, whatever.
But they have, I mean, like in Fast and Furious cars, like those
aren't street legal.
That's really realistic. But you know what? I applaud BMW for doing this.
Well, it's not uncommon for a company to get some attention by doing something outlandish and actually a lot of fun. This was definitely the most talked about, the most commented on from all of our stuff when we posted it.
100%. Even my family, who know nothing about tech, the one thing they sent was, "Robin, are you going to go see that changing BMW?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll try."
And you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so we give BMW too much attention now. What's the next vehicle?
Yeah, so the next thing that we saw was the Chevrolet Silverado EV launch.
Yeah, they didn't really have one there that we could see, but it was big news. They did the launch virtually down at CES. This is something I'm actually kind of interested in because I want to get a truck in my future.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for the Cybertruck, but that thing's not going to hit anytime soon. And now it looks like, this Chevy Silverado and even the Ford F-150 will be hitting the same time as the Cybertruck if they can get it out.
Yeah, which is... I don't know. It's interesting. What did you think of these kind of new EV trucks like that we're seeing?
I love them. My only question, because I want to get a truck to tow a trailer, like a recreational trailer, that probably is going to be around 8,000 pounds. My question is, when I'm pulling this thing, what does that do to the range? Am I going to get like 50 kilometers, and where's the charging station? Do you know what I mean? Because I've read people that have Model Ys, for example, Teslas, that they got a towing package on it, and they've towed stuff. And the range just plummets into the dirt.
Well, the other thing we've talked about it quite a lot is too, going to those charging stations. They don't have like drive-through trailer accessible charging stations.
Tesla's starting to build some of those, but like we live in Vancouver, British Columbia. If I want to take my trailer up into the Okanagan, I know that all the stations along the way don't have that. So I would have to go and I'd have to uncouple my trailer, which is... It's a pain in the butt, seriously. And then I got to put that trailer somewhere.
Right.
I've uncoupled it. And then I got to drive to the charger. Like, that's going to wipe out an hour.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah. Do you think, though, that this is going to be somewhat of a game changer for more of, like, the actual, say, like, workforce? Or
yes, 100%. 100%. Because if you look at Ford, and I know Silverado has this in it as well, the GM one.
Yeah.
You can actually hook power tools and things into this thing, right?
Yeah.
And use the truck as a battery.
It's great they have outlets built in.
Yeah. It's like pretty amazing. I guess the utility of these trucks will be for people that actually really use trucks.
Yeah.
Instead of just driving around to be fancy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And do you think there's actually any benefit from having a battery versus combustion engine for that kind of work?
Well, yeah, you got the electricity, right? So the whole thing is a big battery for your tools, right? For your saws and things like that. But again, it just depends what you're using it for. Like if you are going to tow things and stuff like that, I still don't know if it's going to be practical yet.
Right, yeah, even if you're filling up with bricks or whatnot, any kind of load. Yeah. We have a few people tuning in. Bruce Crawford says he loves the morning tech show on Saturday on CKNW.
Thank you. Keep listening. Keep listening. But you can also listen to the Sunday one as well on CKNW at 10 a.m., the app show. Kind of cover a lot of mobile tech.
Oh, very good.
Well. And we podcast them as well for people that don't have the shows on their radio stations.
That's true. You can get those on any podcast app, right?
Yes, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
GetConnected and the app show.
Pretty cool.
Okay, what else we got?
Well, we also have Emma Casey from Ireland. Hello. And Ian Pawsey from Tuasin. So got a good crowd, guys. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'll let you know. All right. So, like we mentioned in the bit of a preamble, there's a Vietnamese company that I'd never heard of.
VinFast. So they're
VinFast,
launching their own EV down in the States, and I've just seen ads now in Canada. I don't know a lot about these cars, but it's a Vietnamese car company, and they're trying to get into the EV game. So my question, everyone's trying to get into the EV game. There's a lot of these new companies we've never heard of before. Can they actually make them? You know, like Rivian, for example. We've heard about them for a few years. They were in that Ewan McGregor show where he did the motorcycle thing up South America, right? And they had Rivians. Or prototype ones, which surprisingly held up really well for prototypes. But they can't even make these things fast enough.
Yeah, well, I think the thing with VinFast is this isn't their first foray into motors at all, you know? Okay. I believe the VF9 and VF8, which are the two models announced at CES, those are the EVs.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, they have internal
cars?
combustion cars in their other
so,
line.
Yeah. But just stepping back a little bit, we were in this, what's normally a very crowded automobile or vehicle hall.
Yeah.
And we were just sort of wandering around, and it was sparse. There was a lot of room. And then we came across the VinFast booth. I had never heard of them before.
Okay.
And we just happened to be there on the right moment as they were unveiling these cars.
Yeah.
And the big thing that I took away from it, because they did a lot of talking before they removed the covers off the vehicles, the challenge with a lot of people and purchasing an EV is the price.
Right, yeah.
And the most expensive part of an EV is the battery.
Yeah.
So they have a really interesting business model for this where you lease the battery. So it actually would bring the price down to comparable-ish to a internal combustion engine vehicle. So instead of paying, say, $45,000, maybe you're paying $30,000 or $35,000 because you're leasing the battery. You'll give it back, you know, and swap it out or do whatever. I'm not entirely sure of all the logistics of how that would all work.
Yeah,
it's not going to work. Come on. Like, seriously.
No, you don't think so?
No.
But you can already get EV batteries replaced right now, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah, if you take the car apart.
Well, you have a Tesla, so you have to take the whole thing apart.
Yeah, but I don't know if you remember, in the early days, part of Elon Musk's vision was that these batteries in the Teslas were, like, they'd have a door underneath where you could actually drive into a Tesla center and they would swap the battery out and give you a charged battery. And they actually, I remember watching like a PR thing around that, and they did it within, like, I think a minute or two.
But they abandoned it.
Totally, because it's completely impractical. Like, there's a company down in California that's doing this as well. I forget if it's with Nissan Leafs or something, where you drive in and they'll swap the battery out. Come on. That is a lot of effort.
You need a robot to come and take the battery while you're parked overnight.
Yeah, I imagine it's not going to be like a stop in a day.
Would I put money into that company that's swapping batteries? Not a chance in hell.
No, but it's definitely seems like a Band-Aid solution to kind of one of the problems people have with battery-powered vehicles is the range and the accessibility of a charging station. If you live in a condo that doesn't have any outlets in the parking garage, you're SOL.
Yeah.
You have to go to a third-party, external charging station, and if you're a regular commuter, that's not practical.
But you know who's making that practical is Tesla, because they've got their superchargers. They're putting them in more and more urban centers.
But that's fine for a certain group of people that can afford a Tesla.
Yeah.
I think VinFast and other companies are trying to find a sort of a more approachable price point.
So, but what's the answer there? Like, it's the chargers. There's not enough chargers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whose responsibility is that?
It should be all the car companies.
Yeah, but they haven't got their together. I was going to swear there. No, but seriously,
I think you can.
Yeah, but seriously, like why they need to get together, and the government needs to get involved with this to make sure that there's enough infrastructure for all these cars. Like Tesla, I read somewhere they're making like $1 billion in charging fees now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
I read it on the internet. I haven't verified it, but I'm just saying other company like British Petroleum. Can you say
BP,
that?
yeah.
They say that some of their stations that have chargers are almost as profitable as the gas part now.
Right.
Really?
So
Yes.
we're going to see that Petro-Canada is partnering with Electrify Canada. We're seeing other companies sort of starting to add that space into those stations.
Yeah. So, you know, if all the other car companies were smart, like Ford and GM, VinFast,
Yeah.
Toyota, whatever, if they were smart, they would get together and form some sort of consortium. Maybe they already got one, and put a bunch of money in to start building out charging stations like Tesla has done, like
Yeah.
fast chargers. The level 2 chargers are not good enough. They're not, right?
Yeah.
Like when I go up and use a level 2 charger, when I go up to Whistler, I'm only getting about 30 to 40 kilometers an hour. It's not practical unless I'm sitting there drinking somewhere or eating.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't be drinking anyway. so.
No, that's true.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying, yeah. And it was interesting because I got to go back to Ireland over the holidays, and I was amazed at the amount of EVs I saw.
They have cars there?
They do, yes.
I'm kidding, Ireland. I'm kidding.
I was amazed because there were like a handful when I left, but I think what at least I heard was the pandemic sort of was the catalyst to kind of speeding that process up of sort of taking them on, because people realized they don't need the amount of range that they thought they needed in previous years.
Okay. Because they're not driving anywhere
Because
anymore?
yeah, exactly. They don't actually go there anywhere.
Yeah.
But
Well, it depends what you use your vehicle for.
Just another
Yeah.
quick thing. It's not like Ireland's like the size of Texas or anything, right?
no, it can fit probably 4 times inside Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So sure, people don't think they need the range anymore, but there is virtually no infrastructure whatsoever for chargers there.
But you'd think Ireland, like, because they're trying to set themselves up as a tech center, right?
Yeah.
They've got all like the HPs and Dells and Apples. They've got like big headquarters there because of the whole tax
Yeah,
situation. You would think that,
They'd be the first to jump on it.
right?
Yeah.
Like, look at Norway. Like almost all new cars now are EVs being sold.
But it's no different in the States. I was in Palm Springs over the holidays, and I found one charger the entire time I was there.
Yeah, that's not good.
No,
And what kind of charger was it?
level 2.
Yeah, and that's the crappy one. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're going to get a charge for half an hour.
Well, and no, it's not true. I saw a Tesla destination charger, which is also a level 2.
yeah.
Neither of them had anything attached to it. So, but I saw a stat the other day that apparently the adoption in Europe is closer to 40% for
Yeah.
people buying vehicles. They're getting 40% of the purchases are electric vehicles.
I can see that.
In the US, it's 4%.
But you know why? Because in Europe, gas is crazy expensive. Like it's typically in the past been almost double than what it's been here.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, the savings just completely pay for the car.
Just in my experience in Europe, they seem to have a much better infrastructure, at least in the big cities that we've been to.
Yes. Yeah.
So much more so than I found in the States. I mean, obviously certain places like Silicon Valley and those kind of places are going to be better set up than other places. But I was really surprised at Palm Springs, even Las Vegas when we were there for the Consumer Electronics Show. I didn't see, I mean, we didn't go to a lot of places where you would have to do charging, but it wasn't as obvious or as plentiful as it is in Vancouver, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So Murray from Bowen Island is actually chiming in here. He says that they need 4-wheel drive EV trucks for the contractors.
Yes.
The Muni, MUNI, municipality.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually installed, thanks Hydro, 2 charging stations in Snug Cove. Big time over there.
That's cool. Not enough though.
And are they level 2 or 3?
They're fast chargers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Typically that's what Hydro's putting.
Oh,
in.
it was a Hydro. Sorry, I
yeah.
missed that part.
No, that is awesome, and you know, good for smaller places. But you need like
You can have all the contractors lined up to use those chargers. then.
totally
Yeah,
right.
totally.
Can you imagine? Like if we get any penetration with the electric trucks in the next few years,
Oh my God, it'll be a mess.
it'll be insane.
Yeah.
Because any person that uses a truck and spends all that money on gas and likes the feature of having all the power built in, right?
Yeah.
I would get an electric truck. And so that's just going to add, especially with all these new manufacturers, hopefully being able to deliver it, that's going to be a mess for the charging infrastructure because there is none.
Well, at least they have a couple years to figure it out before they actually start shipping the trucks.
That's my thing. No one is figuring it out.
Well, maybe they are. We just haven't heard yet.
Sure. You and I have been around long enough, right? You know this.
I'm being somewhat sarcastic.
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry. Okay.
One thing we forgot to mention about the Silverado is that it's coming in.
Digress.
Sorry. Yeah, it's all good. It's coming in two versions, sort of a work version and sort of a consumer version.
Oh, the fluffy one that I'm going to buy, right?
Yeah. The fluffy one is starting at 105,000
I'm
US.
not buying that one.
Yeah.
No, they have. What's the work one?
It's
It's looking really appealing. There.
it says starting at 40,000 US, but I guess it's going to be a lot stripped back.
The wheels are extra.
Yeah.
You got 5 kilometers range.
Yeah. So I think that would still be good for work and stuff like that. But I'm just really concerned about towing anything with these things.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that all rolls out.
Whoa. Alrighty, so let's chat about. This one is that something someone's interested in, the Fiskar Ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Can they actually make them? Is the question.
Well, yeah, this isn't the first jaunt from Fiskar in general. I haven't heard from them in a while, but I recall there being like some kind of, I don't know if it's a sports car or something they had.
Yeah, like a crossover type.
Yeah,
vehicle.
yeah.
I've been getting a lot of the press releases.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
But I would like to see more of these in the wild.
Well, that was the thing that was interesting because when we were on the show floor, I actually just walked up right to the Fisker booth, and we'll get Stephen to show the clip in a second here. It's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
I couldn't touch it. It was all kind of fenced off.
Yes.
But one of the things that I really like about this car and some of the other ones we've talked about is that these really feel like futuristic cars.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just a...
They are, because they're going to be available till the future.
That's true. But these really feel like they have a lot of thought put into it specifically for this, as opposed to just taking an internal combustion engine and throwing a battery in it.
Yeah, I know what
They're
you mean.
designed to be
Yeah.
an
Yeah,
electric
ground up,
vehicle.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tesla as well. But again, it's just like, when are we going to see these things? It's hard to make cars. Like, it's taken Tesla more than 10 years to actually get any traction, so to speak. Like any,
I see what you did there.
yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, thank you. No, like, it's taken them that long to get to a tipping point where they can actually make hundreds of thousands of cars, right? So we're seeing that with Rivian. Like, they're only bringing out, I'm not even saying hundreds, like tens of cars
yeah.
a month. Do you know what I mean? So Fisker Ocean and Lucid and these other guys, they've got really beautiful prototypes and what have you, but can we start seeing these on the road more?
Well, I mean, I suppose the difference here, and here Alistair is chiming in the chat, they had the Fisker Karma.
Yes.
So Fisker are an established brand. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if there's been a change in like a handover or something that now they're going into EVs because
Can we block users, that Alistair guy?
I can try. No, I'm kidding. But so I think there may be the difference there where they possibly already have facilities set up
Yeah.
for this level of production.
Yeah.
In EVs, I don't know.
No, okay, but Rivian, they've got, who do they have there? Ford investing billions into them?
Yeah.
I forget which one, it's Ford or
can't
GM.
remember.
And they're trying to build these big factories, but again, it takes time.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly feel it takes like 10 years to get your
Yeah.
stuff together to actually manufacture en masse. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And figure out all the kinks, especially these guys that are coming up from scratch.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is, do you want to be a beta tester for the first version of
See,
their
that's what
EV?
I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about, right? Like, you buy one of these Fisker
Yeah.
Oceans or Lucids, and will they be around in 5 years?
Yeah, I know.
And then what? Because the whole thing is like a computer,
Totally, yeah.
right?
It's like having a BlackBerry or something 5 years
Yeah.
ago.
Do I have to like start some Reddit subgroup to get a bunch of people together to write code to update the car?
To hack your car?
To hack my car? No, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But we see this with technology. That's why
All the time.
You know, on Kickstarter, we see all these cool little computer doodads and consumer electronic stuff, and I'm always like, cool, but will this thing be around? Remember the Bevy?
Yeah.
It was like this little hard drive that's made for photos.
Okay.
It's your like photo life.
Yeah.
And so, it would know when you came home. It would take all the photos off your iPhone. You could upload stuff. Anyway, it was all cloud-based as well.
Okay.
And on the hard drive. But they died after 2 years. So the thing, completely useless.
Oh, all your photos gone with it then?
Totally.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So what happens if Fisker, I'm not saying they are, but what if they just can't make it? What happens? What happens to your car?
I don't know. Have we seen anything like that before?
Well, with internal combustion cars,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's mechanical. There's parts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, is someone going to make all the motherboards?
Well,
Third party? I don't know.
The problem is, I think any of the modern vehicles now, they have so much computers in it. Even a traditional internal combustion engine, it still requires a lot of technology to fix and repair. This isn't your father's 65 Mustang.
No.
Yeah.
That you just, this thing is not working.
Yeah.
Take it out, put it in. Like,
Yeah.
if the computer goes down or the company's out of business, like, who's doing the updates and things like that?
Yeah, it's one thing for it to be like a $200 or $300 hard drive versus a
I wonder,
$50,000 vehicle.
does the government need to get involved with regulation to make sure that there's some sort of standard or contingency plan?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's talk about some companies being, I don't know if they're forced is the right word, but compelled to put an expiry date for their tech. So you buy this smart home product, for example, and the company has to guarantee support for 5 years minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you at least,
Do you remember the Belkin little cameras?
yeah.
Right? Gone.
Yeah.
Like, if you had one, I mean, they were good, and they gave you some, I forget what they gave you, some coupon or something, but
Yeah.
because the camera was all cloud-based.
Oh,
So they stopped
right.
supporting it. Dead.
Yeah.
So if you got like a $50,000 or $100,000 car,
Or truck.
yeah. So
Yuff, yeah.
yeah. So if I was in the market to purchase an EV or an EV truck, I would really be thinking about that.
Yeah.
A name.
So do you think that's going to help the big guys that are maybe slow to the starting line
100%.
because they have a little bit better track record? They've got longevity
I'm
behind
pretty
them.
sure Ford will be here in 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I think if I had 100 grand, I probably wouldn't buy a car. But if I had 100 grand to spend on a car, I would go with a bigger name versus a Rivian.
You
or
would,
Lucid.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd go with the Lightning, the F-150 Lightning or something.
I
just
think
'cause
Tesla's
know.
at a point now that I kind of trust that brand.
Yeah, yeah. I think.
Well, it's because you've got a Kia.
Well, yeah, but I feel like Tesla's on the brink of like, I don't know if it's going to work anymore.
What do you mean? Like the whole company or the car?
Well, the company.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hard to say. Again, the longevity is the big question, right?
Yeah.
So,
As long as Elon Musk is behind there, the guy's maniacal. He will keep driving that thing. I tell you, if anything ever happens to him, God forbid.
well, he's moving to Mars, so
Okay.
Who knows?
And new leadership came in, I bet they would be bought by one of the big guys.
Right.
Yeah. Because they wouldn't be able to carry on that maniacal vision.
or Apple.
Or Apple.
Or Apple, yeah.
You never know.
Apple actually probably has the money.
Okay, what else we got?
Yeah, so we got Alistair tuning in again. He says it's going to boil down to supply chain and experience. Big companies will pluck the technology off the likes of Fisker.
Buy
In
them.
brackets,
Yeah.
Buy them.
Yeah, you're totally right. 100%. There'll be a consolidation. There will be a few of these guys, and they'll buy them for some innovative thing they've done.
Yeah.
Do you think that those things would become like the niche product, like Mercedes Fisker, for example? Like it'd be like
Yeah.
Oh,
like a sub brand for one of the big guys.
Toyota Lexus
That
kind of
worked
thing.
really
Yeah.
well for all the big car companies
Well, yeah.
before the crash.
Well, because some of these companies do have some pretty unique value propositions, right?
100%.
So it'd be a shame to see that sort of swallowed up and conformed to whatever company buys them.
Yeah. I get you. Everyone tuning in, we're talking about all things automotive, EVs and PEVs that we saw at CES 2022 in Las Vegas.
Not just EVs.
Sorry, yeah. All sorts.
What are the things
You'll
that
know
we see?
why in a minute when we actually get to the
Yeah.
product I'm going to
Robin's
talk
got
about.
an actual list here, which is great.
I do.
Yeah. He's the only one that's organized enough to
Well, we rely on
put
him
this
for
together.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things that was there, actually speaking of supply chain and partnering and whatnot, was Sony with their cars. They had the Vision S1 and Vision S2.
But you can't even get a PlayStation 5 right now.
No. No. Do you think these things will
See,
ever?
there you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's the whole supply chain thing, right?
Yeah.
It's hard making cars.
Start making hardware.
Sony can't even make enough Sony PlayStation 5s.
Yeah.
They're going to make a car. Like,
Well-
that car will never see the light of day.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sorry.
Prove us wrong.
Do you
Send us
remember-
one.
Do you remember Dyson? Remember he wanted? James Dyson?
Do you want to make a car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He bought a whole track facility and everything.
Oh, yeah.
No, really?
He spent billions,
Yeah. Oh, totally.
and he
Of his own money.
just sort of like can't do it.
Yeah. Someone finally like, dude,
It just came down to
cars are hard. Like they
Let's
are.
get it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Just cars are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, would you want a car from Sony? Do you think they have anything interesting to offer in that sort of space?
I want from Microsoft.
Yeah.
You want a car from Microsoft? It's all like HoloLens.
yeah. Yeah.
You're like Minority Reports.
I want Microsoft
Oh, that's
to
a
buy
treat.
Suzuki.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
No, Sony. Yeah. Okay. They're a brand, right?
yeah.
So out of all these new EV companies, if I had to choose between them and some other no name, yeah, I would buy a Sony.
Right. They've been around over 100 years. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But they don't have any pedigree in building cars.
Okay, so here's the thing: Apple.
Yes.
There's all these rumors that Apple's coming out with a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you buy an Apple car? Well, I know you would.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, would you trust Apple to build a great? You know what? It'll probably be like an awesome car.
Yeah.
But again, they've been around forever,
Yeah.
and they're one of the most valuable companies in the world. So, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they
the
could-
trust is in that brand.
Yeah.
We don't have any video of Apple cars, if you're wondering.
Sadly not. No, but Sony did show up with another iteration of their car. They had the S01 in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're showing off the Vision S02, which is kind of half and half hybrid SUV kind of car. It's a 7-seater.
Look at that. That's not distracting, eh?
But can you play Call of Duty on it?
Yeah, like my Tesla already is like super distracting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, thank God for the auto steering. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I got to change the heat in here.
Yeah.
Where is that? Anyway, sorry. No, I'm just laughing at these cars, and they're beautiful. Like, but you know their dashboards.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
have you seen the Mercedes one?
I have.
Oh my God, I forget the name of it. It's like some amazing screen that encompasses the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, how many of those are gonna?
It's gonna.
Again, sorry, Mercedes, I'm not inferring anything.
And Alistair again tuning in. Don't forget that Dyson invented the ball barrow in 19. Can I say that? Ball barrow? Anyway, in 1974.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna look this up, Stephen.
I think this is a wheelbarrow, but a ball.
Oh yeah, with just a big ball, which is basically what they did for their vacuum cleaners
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Interesting. Stephen, can I send you some pictures just to put up on stream?
The ball barrow. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is
But so I'm excited for some of these companies like Apple. Dyson would have had some interesting tech and engineering.
No question. Yeah. No, and that's the thing is the innovation is what's really interesting is what's possible.
But how innovative can you get in an electric car? Okay. Number one, internally, like the experience, the passenger and the driver experience inside with all the fancy dashboards. But there's not much to them, right? There's like an electric motor
No, I mean,
and a battery.
that's the thing. Most people don't realize if you've never driven an electric vehicle, it's like driving a fancy golf cart,
Totally. Yeah.
just with more power and like a normal car around you.
Yeah. Like my father-in-law comes into my Tesla and he thinks it's silly, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're driving with an iPad.
Shout out to Alan.
Yeah. And he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, no.
Like, because we're missing all that beautiful, I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing. Like
Detail.
in my Kia, I have tactile knobs and buttons
I like
for
that, yeah.
for the stereo for
Yes.
the volume and also for the air conditioning and the heat.
yeah.
Which is important when you're driving. You don't have to want to like scroll through screens or anything like that, like to find stuff. Like it should just be like
it should just be a
a
touch
reflex.
response. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you find that to be a particularly
It's a problem.
yeah?
It's a problem. And I'll tell you why, because that screen is big. And so I'm driving it. So if there's something on the other side of the screen.
Oh, right.
So there's actually some third-party things you can get that allow you to
I saw that there's
tilt.
like a pivot.
And I'm telling you, like, I'm seriously interested in it
yeah.
because it's difficult to get to everything. And you know what another problem I'm having right now?
You just have short arms.
Yeah. Just get longer arms.
T-Rex arms. Tesla, one of the fun things is they're doing updates all the time. They're adding new games and features, but I hate when they change the user interface. Like they've decided that they've changed where the heat control is and where, the seat control.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, before it was like right there at the bottom because it's a freaking important thing to have, okay? So then you bury it inside two menus. Are you kidding me? Like, who decided that?
Well, I remember the first time I drove your Tesla, and it was raining, and I didn't know how to turn on the windshield wipers because there's no lever.
That took me a day to figure that out. And it wasn't it's not on the screen.
No?
It's actually on one of the levers. If you push it in, then it brings up something on the screen.
Yeah, like
Really?
It's at least that version. That was a few versions ago.
But anyway, so the latest software update
Yeah.
completely changed the user interface.
My God.
Everyone is losing their mind. Apparently you can customize things now, but I don't know how to do that.
It's funny. Kia updated my user interface late last year.
Yeah.
And everyone lost their mind because they changed it to like a purple theme that you can't change.
God, I wish I had purple. I wish. I don't care if it was like puke brown. Like, just don't change where everything is. Like, take a standard.
Yeah,
It's
I never
insane,
even
Robin.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it looks like crap. Tesla, it looks like crap. I don't know what grade 4 class you had redesign the icons on there, but it's awful. Sorry.
That's all right. Have you ever had an issue with actual, like, the responsiveness kind of like faulting or being delayed when touching things?
No.
No? Okay, well, that's good.
As long as I can find it.
Yeah.
If I can find it in the menu system.
Gosh. So, I mean, is there like an actual benefit for these car manufacturers to cost benefit more so than like flashiness to start like installing tablets and whatnot versus the physical switches?
100%.
Because they can change it at any time and annoy people like Mike.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn, you kids. No, like, because you're taking out moving parts. Anytime you're taking out moving parts,
Yeah,
you're increasing the efficiency and reliability,
right.
in my humble opinion. But that's kind of the neat thing with Tesla, what they've done. Like, because they control everything and the supply chain and, what chips and stuff and motherboards they're using inside there and the software, don't mess with the user interface. If they ever have supply chain issues, and that's why they did better than a lot of the other big guys, because they could actually change the chips they were using, and their software guys is, okay, we'll just rewrite the code to support it.
Right.
Oh, God help Ford or anyone, like, if that happens, right? Because I've read they're using like some of these motherboards that are 10 years old. And so that supplier couldn't supply enough. What does Ford do? Guess just have to wait.
Yeah.
Right? They can't just like on the fly change chips and motherboards.
Yeah.
I think they're rethinking that now. But
Right.
okay, sorry. I'm
It's
just
all right.
like
It's all right. Yeah,
It's
everyone,
like
thank you for tuning in to the Tesla Cast.
the No, I'm not.
I know. Let's move on to the thing John wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. So this I saw briefly on the on the show floor.
No, I think we're going to talk about the Vegas Loop first.
Oh, the loop. Okay.
Oh, the thing with Teslas.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. There you go. Tie it all together.
I like this. I liked it a lot. So this is a tunnel from Elon Musk's company.
Continuing on the Tesla cast.
Yeah, sorry. So they've made these tunnels. They've bored tunnels under the convention centers in Las Vegas, and these are huge. Like, these convention centers are multiple football fields in size.
Yeah.
And so walking from like one to the other can take half an hour. So
Easily.
And,
Yeah.
Especially when you throw people in there too.
then
Oh
it's
my
worse.
God, yeah. And they're not like, it's not a linear stream either. Like, there's always going up and down.
Oh,
or
it's crazy,
hard.
right?
Yeah. Like, it actually kind of overwhelmed me to see
So these
how
tunnels
big they
look
were
like
to
the
start.
future. And so Elon Musk's boring company is able to do these tunnels at a fraction of the cost of regular tunnels. And you can see why. They're a lot smaller. There's no question, right?
They're car size, not train sized.
Yeah. So when I first heard about them and kind of saw some of the preliminary drawings, I'm like, well, why don't you stick a train down there? I don't think you could stick a train down there.
No.
And you know what? It was pretty good. Like, so you go down, or if you're on either end of the system, it's above ground.
Yeah.
And you just jump into a Tesla.
Well, that was the neat thing is we took an Uber to the convention center, and they dropped us off at one of these terminals.
Yeah.
And then we just jumped into the first car that like literally walked right up into a car.
Yeah.
And then they took us down into the tunnels, and it was very efficient. Like compared to before, when even just unloading cars at the convention center would have taken forever.
Yeah.
So
it's got like 70 cars down there when we were there.
yeah, that's right.
They all have their own drivers. You're not driving it yourself. They're not driverless yet.
They're not autonomous.
No, but it's really cool, and it's a system. Like if they get into the station and they don't have another person coming in within 20 seconds, or is it 10? Or is it 10?
Ten.
Is it 10 seconds? They have to keep going.
Take
they
off, yeah.
Take off.
Yeah. So not unlike like the SkyTrain, it doesn't wait until it's filled with customers. It just
Yeah.
goes on.
So the cool thing is they're talking about now building it across the strip and to the airport.
That would be super cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Anything to make the traffic more efficient there. But can they use this as a model in other places? My thing is just the efficiency. They say 4,400 people an hour.
That's a term I heard, but yeah, that was the concern because this Consumer Electronics Show was significantly smaller than what a normal non-pandemic.
Like a quarter of the size,
Yeah,
literally.
40,000 versus 180,000.
So think about 4 times the amount of people going down into those little tunnels.
Yeah. I wonder at that stage, is it going to become the concern that
Can I
people
tell
are
you what the
thinking
problem
now?
is that I saw in the system?
Okay.
The humans.
Yes.
No, seriously.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
They had down at the bottom of these escalators, at the bottom of the tunnels, they had like a hype or a loop person down there directing people. And the whole thing bogged down because you get the people. So where do I go? Like, do I have to get in the white one? I want to go in the black one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
they
yeah.
just stop at the bottom of the escalator and they don't move out of the way. And like the escalator is full of people coming down.
And that guy is like directing people.
Yeah.
Get in that car. Go to that bay.
Yeah, yeah. So in the future, like, what is that just going to be 10 people doing that now?
No,
Or
you
like-
take those people and
Well,
there's another tunnel for them.
or you have some people at the top of the escalator holding people back until.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot more sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas it was a sort of a free for all. Mind you, it wasn't busy or anything, but it was a free for all. You could just go down whenever
Yeah.
you wanted.
We used it like 8 or 9 times
I
easily.
loved
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I loved it.
Because it was so efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to take that back to my hotel.
Or somewhere on the strip.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
All right.
Hopefully someday.
Let's talk about something that is close to your, well, actually, both of our hearts, actually all of our hearts.
Yeah.
Scooters?
Personal.
Mobility scooters?
Yeah. yeah. So there wasn't the biggest turnout in terms of a lot of people doing this, but there was one group that caught my eye, and their names were Okai. And they were showing off a handful of things that they had. They had electric bikes, they had regular, normal scooters. But the thing that caught my eye the most was what you can see here. This is the Beetle. And this is like, it's like a little moped, kind of, not Cessna. Anyway, little like Italian scooter.
Vespa.
Thank you.
Are you sure you're from Europe?
I thought this was just so cool. It's coming in at like under $1,000 US. It's got a cozy little seat.
The cozy little seat, though, is something that I saw first in China.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Show Me or the Segway scooters people they had fashioned their own seats onto them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like, so they could actually put cargo and stuff underneath.
And not safely.
No.
No.
But it's cool to see that it's like an integrated part of the product because that would be kind of a fun way to get around.
Oh, it is. I took it for a test drive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
right,
like it's like spec wise in terms of speed and stuff, it's very similar to your standard Segway 9-bot scooter.
Okay.
You got like 25 kilometer max speed. I think similarly 30 kilometer range, or no, 60 kilometer range, I think. Anyway, very similar to a scooter, but just in a far more comfortable form factor, you know?
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. It has like a removable battery, so if you have a lockup, you can leave that downstairs, bring the battery up to your apartment or whatever, charge it.
Built-in shock absorbers.
Yeah. So I thought this was kind of the most interesting thing. Anyway,
And this was under $1,000?
This is under $1,000
US.
US. Yeah. And Okai themselves, they were an OEM, And so they were building, they produce scooters for the likes of Lime and Bird and all sorts over Europe. And now for the last 10 years or so, and this is their kind of, in the last year, their first foray into their own branded stuff. So they're making a name for themselves.
Very cool.
So I'm looking forward to getting one of these in. Going to review it. Check it out.
I don't think every time we get one in, he like
Crashes it.
He crashes it. Yeah.
Or gets hit by a car in it.
Only nearly. But
Just a quick question. I think we run out of stuff, right?
Nope,
we have one
got
more thing.
One more thing.
Oh, okay.
One more thing.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just back to Emma about the Tesla tunnel. She's asking about safety issues.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about it because if there are these Tesla drivers are actually trained to go backwards in the tunnels. I know there's been some videos about congestion, but it would be really simple to get out of those tunnels quickly.
Very, very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you're trapped in it and you can't open your door.
No,
No,
you can get
no.
out and run. Okay,
From the zombies.
What's the last one?
All right. So the last thing we got is the Evo Cargo.
So I saw this truck right across from the VinFast booth, and I just thought it was really cool. This is from Eastern Europe, we think the Baltic region, maybe Russia, and it's the kind of thing that you're probably going to see like on a shipyard or a warehouse. But what's interesting about this is that it's not electric; it's actually hydrogen based.
That's right. Yeah.
So, because one of the concerns a lot of people have about electric vehicles is, well, what if there's no affordable electricity available to me? Whether it's a hydroelectric plant or, coal and that kind of stuff.
Oh, here's a hydrogen car.
Well, I mean, presumably this platform can be converted to anything
Yeah,
else.
can we get the B-roll up there, Stephen?
Yeah, it's just a really cool looking truck for hauling stuff because it's basically an autonomous vehicle. There's no driver in it. It's basically just a flat deck that moves stuff around.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really neat to see it in person and up close because it's very big. It's hard to tell from the video just how big it is.
Yeah, it definitely stood out. It's very Total Recall or something like that.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
I see these things getting out there.
This seems like a very practical solution for exactly what you're seeing here, hauling stuff around a yard or something like that.
All the union guys in the yard will totally love that. They will be super easy to get these into those docks.
Have you been certified on the Evo Cargo?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to end up in the ocean. Can I tell you that? Sorry.
Well, right.
That was that.
Yeah. So there we are. That is the entire thing. If anyone has any questions, please, if we didn't answer them now, you can follow us up on Twitter at GetConnected or our Instagram. You can check us out on Check TV. You can go to our website, getconnectedmedia.com. You can check out these two gents every weekend. Go ahead.
Saturdays, 10 o'clock Pacific time on CKNW, and same on Sundays.
Or anywhere on the Chorus Radio Network in most of Canada.
And the podcast, which you can get links to on our website, getconnectedmedia.com.
Yeah, that's right. We're everywhere. So if you guys enjoyed this, stick around, watch some of our other videos on our channel. And until next week for our next live stream, we'll see you again.